things are coming in that you didn't expect. Because you didn't expect it and maybe are not prepared for it, it can easily happen that you are getting stressed out by so many different impacts.
Escape stress by reconnecting with nature and beings. Join Shi Heng Yi on a journey to integrate mind and body harmony.
If I start to do some type of training, no matter what it is, at a certain point I am reaching my level where I either feel the exhaustion or sometimes I'm also feeling the level of pain that I'm able to take. And now the question is, what are you going to do exactly at this borderline? And a mindset that I think is paying off later, big times, is when you're starting to incorporate into your daily life, into the daily perspective and understanding that this world has not been created for you to only enjoy the peaceful aspects about it. Sensual desire arises in the moment when you are paying attention to something that is giving you a positive emotion. This positive emotion can originate from 5 gates of your body: seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, or feeling.
Shi Heng Yi shares a powerful method to alleviate stress, connecting with nature and beings. Break free from isolation step by step and integrate body movement with mindful breathing for holistic well-being.
Open the body, or open the human. Open the human not only in terms of physically opening, meaning stretch open the muscles, stretch open the tendons, stretch open the ligaments, open really the body, open the lungs, that more oxygen can come in. But also means open the mind. Open the mind meaning to stop, to realize whenever you are in a way limiting your views, for example, limiting your own perspective. And by regularly practicing, every day we have exercises to open the body. Every day we take care that we are opening and stay with the open mind. This openness after time is something that we are then starting to incorporate into our being, into our daily life. And this is what opens then the doors again. The more open you become, the more you will see once again the possibilities that are out there. And now, practically speaking, what should you do? Increase the level of activity. That is like, if you want to have a one straight answer, if somebody finds himself in a too dark place, increase the amount of activity. Which means spend a lot of time outside while the sun is shining where there are a lot of people. The opposite is you're in a dark place and you stay at home in your 4 walls. For some time, it's sometimes necessary, but this is not going to be the solution. So that means if you by yourself cannot create that light, then we have to somehow try that the circumstances on the outside help you, support you a little bit along this way. And it can be quite similar being also seen with this monastery. If everybody would have the ability to bring out the self-discipline, you don't need like disciplinary masters. Meaning you don't need a monastery also that takes care that you are keeping that external rules and the external structure. But like, for example, today, all the young guys that came, if they would already be so self-disciplined that they know exactly what they can do, what they cannot do. If they want to achieve something, that they just focus on that. If they knew all of these things, well then, they don't need this monastery anymore. Our body can learn something and also can unlearn things by making it become a habit. So if I want to start conditioning my body to wake up earlier, I make it step by step. Always at the same time I go to bed, so that my body starts to remember. And sometimes I just even know that even if you don't put up the alarm, sometimes automatically right time you're awake. And this is how the usage of habit or the usage of conditioning can be made useful, yes, for our daily life.
Discover Shi Heng Yi's transformative approach to stress relief. Reconnect with yourself, nature, and beings to find balance. Dive into integrated practices involving breath, body movement, and mindfulness. Embrace the journey from self-connection to community, providing a step-by-step guide for a stress-free and harmonious life.
You are going to learn that your body is important just as your mind is important. And based on this very basic idea, now it starts. Now somebody maybe asks, okay, now, yes, I want to develop the mind, how should I do it? And then, in the Shaolin Temple, traditionally we are teaching Buddhist teachings, Confucianist teachings, and Taoist teachings. So 3, let's say, teachings aiming in the development of the mind. So you are reading series, you are reading essays, you are reading different texts, maybe some of them describing the life of one of these persons, meaning Buddha, or maybe Lao Tzu, or maybe Confucius. Yeah. By putting yourself into the skin of those personalities, you maybe or maybe not, get a glimpse of, okay, so this is how they were living. This is the virtues that they inhabited in themselves, why they are behaving in this and that way. These were some type of virtues that they were abiding to, that they kept as a guideline in their daily life. That is like where the theory part, in a way, tries to already offer you something. Offer you something because at the end of the day, it's still up to you to decide whether you take what you have observed there as something that you think is useful for you. Or if you just say, I cannot relate to it, I don't know what it means, so it's not relevant for me. This is like in terms of theoretical aspect. And then at the same time, we have the physical practice, which means it is the Kung Fu training, it is the Tai Chi training, and it's the Qigong training. And practical means because by doing some type of practice, you get answers. Sometimes it's answers you didn't ask, but nevertheless, the important part is that through the practice, there is some type of information and some type of knowledge being transmitted to you along the way of practice that will never ever come in this lifetime if you would only read books. The knowledge from the practical, the knowledge from the theoretical, this afterwards you take. What it means is you have a field of knowledge, you have an area that now at any time wherever you are going in this lifetime, you are able to access it. And when are these times to access it? It is times when you are being placed in a situation where you need to take a decision, for example. No matter from which country you're coming from, no matter from which culture somebody is coming from. This whole life is based on the decisions you are taking. Why we think physical training, physical activity, practice is something that teaches more than just how hard can you punch, how fast can you kick. It's not about that. I don't care how hard or how fast somebody can punch, but I care about how is the mindset. What happens if you walk through this lifetime, something unexpected comes? And then there it is, something that we call choice. You have the choice. The suffering comes and you run away, or the suffering comes, the pain comes, and you face it. And the second approach, this is something what the Shaolin Way is representing. We are overcoming the suffering. We are not running away from the suffering. You are overcoming it. You go through it until you have become so strong. Your body becomes so strong. Your mind has become so strong that it doesn't matter afterwards anymore. Our body is created upon, let's say, individual aspects from this earth that by nature already are limited in a way, limiting inside and outside. So limiting, that means our body automatically is limited. It is what we call nowadays lifetime. So simply said, sorry for the long explanation,
Sure.
but that is what it means for me. It is no doubt about it. I don't need to philosophize around it. I can see it. This is out of question. It's gonna go. That is the earth part about ourselves. At the same time, giving me insights. You want to change something about that. What is it to take care of? Everything that comes from the earth, very easily. Which means food, drinks, the breath. Yeah, so that is like how I would use now this concept in my daily life. To just understand, okay, this body comes from there. So the better the quality of the ingredients I put into this, the more quality this can generate. That is the earth aspect. And in comparison now to that earth, we have that heaven aspect. Heaven aspect called like this, because looking up into the sky, it's really difficult to tell where does the sky end. Meaning, heaven stands for something which is borderless. There are no borders in the sky. And so what is it inside of us humans that I think we have something similar like this? That is for me the way of how you are able to use your mind. Because sometimes you can use the mind and create something you have never seen in this world. You're creating something in the mind. You have never seen it in person. Why? Because it's not existing yet. Yet you can see it here.